Hey, what's up, my friend? So, in today's episode, right, I want to talk about how do you compete with high frequency traders, AIs, artificial intelligence, etc., in the future of trading. As a retail trader, what can you do to compete with these algorithms, with these HFT firms, these traders who are trading, so many times a day, right? They are definitely more well funded than you, they are faster than you, they're probably smarter than you, right? A lot of PhDs, people working on this algorithm. So, as a retail trader, how do you compete? And I'm sure that's pretty much a question, right? That is on many retail traders' mind. What advantage do I have? I'm slower, I'm not as smart, I'm less funded, etc. So, in today's episode, I want to share with you three things. Three things that you can do to level the playing field. Number one, you want to trade off the higher time frame, right? Because here's the thing, right? HFT traders, they are operating on the lower time frame, right? Their role over here is not to capture swings in the market. It's not to ride trends. They're just in for that little few scalp, right? A few ticks and that's it, right? They trade thousands of times a day just to earn that 1 cent, 2 cent here and there, then suffer a bit of losses here and there. And hopefully, right, after this thousands of trades, they do come up profitable. So they're trading many times a day, right? Trying to take 1-2 cents out of the different stocks out there that they trade, right? And hoping to make a profit out of it, right? They're trading at a high frequency. They are trading, right, with very tiny, small profit margin, right? They do stuff like statistical arbitrage, index arbitrage, volatility arbitrage, and stuff like that. Okay, so if you want to compete with this type of traders, this type of HFT traders, you want to be moving up the higher time frame. And you might be thinking, okay, if I move up to the higher time frame, why am I quote unquote safer? Won't the HFTs come into my time frame and take away whatever profits that's available for me? And the answer is that unlikely, because HFT, they operate in such a low time frame is because their expense is very high. They have to pay for servers, right? They have to pay for co-location at the exchange. They have very high maintenance costs, right? The developers, the programmers, the codes, and whatsoever. So they have the need, right, to make money as consistently as possible, every day, every week, or every month, right? Virtu Financial, I think there's one article that says that out of 1,000 plus trading days, they only have one losing day in that span of time, right? And that's why HFT traders, they're not interested in trading off the higher time frame because it takes too long to see a profit, right? If you trade off the daily time frame, you may not make money every day, every week, or even every month. And HFT traders, they don't want that inconsistency. They want something that is consistent, that can see money every single day, and that's why they operate on such a low time frame. Number two, to compete with HFT traders, AIs, right? You want to be adopting strategy, right, that has a certain bias in it, right? That there is certain phenomenon out there that actually make this strategy that you're trading works. For example, right, in the stock markets, there is a mean reversion bias to it. So if you look at the stock markets, right, for example, the US stock markets from inception to right now, you can see that the stock market is actually in a long-term uptrend. And yes, we have dips along the way, we have recessions along the way, we have pullbacks along the way, but one thing that you have to agree is that you look from the chart, from left to right, it's going up higher over time. So there's a bias up there, a long-term upward bias in the stock markets. And on top of it, right, for stock markets, it is not easy to be a short seller. Unlike the futures market, the forex, you can go long and short pretty much just like that, But for the stock markets, you have difficulty shorting stocks, right, because of regulations, because it's unethical to do so. So that's why when you trade the stock markets, right, with a mean reversion trading strategy, right, there are certain bias built in for you already to kind of exploit it, right? So when the stock markets, it makes a pullback, there's a good chance that, the pullback will end and the uptrend will continue. And by trading a mean reversion trading strategy, that there's a sound bias behind it. There is a concept that actually makes sense, right? That will give you an edge as a trader to trade. And again, right, HFT traders, why wouldn't they do this, right? They probably won't do this because it's too slow for them again, right? So retail traders, right, or maybe larger hedge funds, they might adopt such trading systems. But you, the retail trader, you can also take part in it, right? So that's one example of, trading a strategy, right, that actually has a sound logic to it. And the last thing that I want to share with you is number three, right? Always test. As a retail trader, you have to be willing to do research to find out new trading strategy, to find out, what works and what don't. You can't just leave it up to, forum, blog posts, or trading with Rayner to tell you, what works and what don't, right? Because you can't take anything that I say at all at face value. What I'm sharing is just based on my own experience, on my research. I could be wrong, and I've been wrong many times. So whatever that you've learned, on the internet, the books, blog, forums, whatsoever, you have to do the testing. Let me give you a couple of examples. Number one, Renaissance Technologies, right, is a firm, right, hedge fund, right, run by Jim Simmons. I think possibly one of the richest traders out there. And when I read the book, right, is that the way they develop trading systems is that they exploit, right, certain patterns in the market. They have no idea why that pattern works, but they realize that that pattern is very consistent. It just works over, whatever data set that they have done their testing on. And they trade that pattern. They're always testing out new patterns and they just trade it, even though there's no logic to it. And that kind of contradicts what I said earlier, because again, you're not HFT, you're a trader, a retail trader who is trading off the higher time frame. So when you're trading such a low time frame, right, high frequency trading, they might just identify patterns that has been, recurring repetitively, right? They might just trade that pattern without any rhyme or reason, without any logic to it. But as long as the pattern works, they will trade it. And they're always testing, right, finding out new patterns that they can identify to trade off. So that's one example of, a firm, right, possibly one of the best HFT trading firms in the world doing that, always testing. And then there's another trader that I want to share with you, Andrea Unger. He's a World Cup trading champion, right? Again, possibly one of the best independent retail traders out there. And if you study his work, he's also always testing. He's testing individual markets. Is the market having a trending behavior? Is it a mean reverting behavior? If I have a 100 pip stop loss for this market with a 300 pip target profit, how would the results change? How would the backtest results differ? And it's always testing, finding out new ideas, testing, and becoming a better trader. And these are people that are pretty much at the top of their game. Now, what about you, the retail trader watching a video from me? You had better be willing to do the work, to do the testing, to research and find and validate new trading ideas or concepts. If you're not willing to, right, then really, you're pretty much, out of luck, out of business, and it's going to be difficult for you to, win in this business. All right, so with that said, right, hopefully that gives you a glimmer of hope to what you can do to compete with HFTs, AIs, whatsoever. With that said, I wish you good luck and good trading, and if you enjoyed this video, this episode, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I will talk to you soon.